mental dissolves.
So I'm on day 11, and I'm down to 3.8 grams a day compared to 8 grams a day, which was 11 days ago. And that's pretty crazy. That's pretty drastic, especially for a Phenibut taper. And I suggest anybody going through this, say you're going through a Phenibut taper or wanting to get off, don't be as drastic as I'm being, or you can, but just know that it's going to take a lot of mental willpower and struggle. And one thing that I've learned through this whole experience, not just one thing, I've learned so many things. I've learned to appreciate struggle so much and just know that without struggle, there comes no growth. For me, at least. I realize that the more I struggle, the more I grow. And I've just kind of, when I'm down and out, and I'm kind of just like, man, fuck this. Like, no one cares, no one understands. I'm kind of in this alone. I kind of just think outside myself, and I realize that this is a beautiful thing, struggling. It's all part of life, the peaks and valleys, the highs, the lows. And I know right now it may suck, and it's going to suck for maybe months after this, just trying to recuperate and get my GABA receptors back up. But it's such a needed thing in life. Not tapering and withdrawing from drugs, but just the struggle in general. It's such an amazing thing that no one really appreciates because it sucks. You know, my whole life, I've kind of just lived in struggle. Whether it's my own doing or outside forces, I've kind of built a home in struggling. And so I'm not unfamiliar with it. So when I go through things like this, I'm not completely uncomfortable, if that makes sense. I've kind of built this life around struggle. And when you get through a struggle, it's like winning a marathon. You pushed yourself to a point where you felt like you were going to break, and you made it through regardless. I think that's an amazing thing. And I always thought, you know, at least in videos from a couple years ago, you know, set goals. And then when you reach those goals, set another set of goals, and so on and so forth. And I was watching this podcast with Mike Posner, and he was talking with this monk, and the monk was saying that he doesn't like goals. He likes missions, because missions can be lifelong. It made me question my whole thought process. And like, one thing through this whole struggle, one thing that I'm thankful for, it's made me completely look inside myself and outside everybody else. And it's brought me a lot more empathy and sympathy towards people struggling, because I know what it's like. My whole life I felt like I've struggled. Not that my life has been horrible or anything like that, but I can just relate a lot to people's struggles, and it's pretty amazing. I feel like it's brought me closer to humanity, and it's made me more empathetic, and it feels really good, even though I feel like shit. I physically feel weak. Mentally, I feel weak. But in a way, in some weird way, I feel stronger than I've ever been in my entire life. Just knowing that I'm still going. I'm alive. I keep this going. Even when I'm at my lowest, I still am on this mission, and I'm just going to follow it through. Who knows, tomorrow I may feel even worse, and the next day even worse and worse and worse. But just knowing that I'm still doing it, and I'm on this mission to get off this and stay off it, is such a fulfilling thing. I'm not saying that I wish I would have never gotten on Phenibut. I'm saying I'm grateful that I did, just so I can get off it and feel this pain. Like the old saying, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So I'm trying to practice that and see others' mistakes so that I don't have to go through the same thing and think, oh no, I'm different. I'm not going to make those mistakes. And of course, I always end up doing those mistakes and then thinking, you know, in hindsight, like, oh, what am I doing? I should have listened to that. I should have followed their lead instead of trying to pave my own road, in a way. Also, I've really wanted to start meditating. You know, I figure my mental state is just as important as working out and eating healthy. I figure meditation, when I'm thinking about a million things and what's going on, what is What are people thinking on social media? How am I looking on camera? Do I have a zit? How stupid do I look? Do people think I'm attractive? Like all this stuff that goes on in my head when I make these videos. I just need to center myself and calm down, and I feel like meditation would be a huge thing. So I woke up early today and I put on some soft music and I just sat there for 5 minutes. That's all I could do. That's all I could do without starting to feel anxiety, because believe it or not, I have so many things going on with like my phone, the comments on YouTube, things that are going on at work. Do I need to prep food? Has Darwin been fed? So many outside things that to just sit there by myself and almost clear my mind gives me total anxiety. I was talking to one of my subscribers, this was like a week or two ago, and she was just saying like, I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. You're doing this and you're sharing this with the world. She said she's like, you're glowing up. And I'm like, what the fuck is glowing up? So I looked it up and it's pretty much just like you're bettering yourself. It's a change of your life. So I was like, sweet. I want to do this full force. When I commit to something, I dive in head first. So I started the whole organic protein thing, the collagen peptides, the chlorophyll droplets, the iodine to be physically healthy. And now I want to start reading and I want to start doing meditation and eventually maybe doing yoga, but we'll see. This is just where I'm at today. Day 11, down to 3.8 grams of Phenibut, and I feel like shit. But I'm loving every second of it, and I'm enjoying the struggle because it'll all be worth it, and I'll be stronger in the end. And hopefully, my main goal, besides all that, all the selfishness that I've been talking about, my main goal is to help someone out there just see that it's possible, and if you just have the right mindset, you can get through it. Whether it's a heroin addiction, methamphetamine, you're going through a divorce, you just got fired from your job, it's not over. That's all part of life. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that wherever you're placed at, whether it's good, bad, great, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And just live in the present and enjoy it. And don't forget that feeling that you have, because you can't experience that same feeling twice. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay centered and just be present and enjoy this shitty feeling. I don't know. I feel good even though I feel bad. It's beautiful, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. If I die tomorrow, somehow, some way, this whole experience with seeing you guys support me and sharing your stories in the comment section has brought me a whole new perspective on life and just people in general. I'm like trying not to tear up because I'm a little fucking sensitive bitch right now coming off this shit. But just seeing people so supportive and wanting the best for other people in the comment section and helping each other, it's like completely given me faith in humanity again. I'm so glad that I decided to share this Phenibut addiction, because it's blown my mind, the compassion you guys have had towards me and towards others, and being vulnerable and sharing your stories. I read all the comments, the good and the bad, and it's pretty astounding. So I'll leave it at that. Day 11 almost done. Tomorrow, day 12, and so on and so forth. I'm just gonna keep going and embrace the struggle, because that's all I can do. And I'll be okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. And sorry, I'm like super emotional today, so I'm like trying not to fucking be a little pussy right now. But hey, it happens. That's just who I am today. So maybe I'll be some crabby cunt tomorrow, but I'm working on myself. I'm doing the best I can, and I hope you guys are too. So, love you guys. Bye.